And we're back with some more LA Kings franchise mode, and in this one, we are going to get year number 7 underway, but as we can see, as we saw in the last one as well, our lineup is very, very depleted now with having to trade away guys like Velarde, Spence. We had to release Manson as well, so defensively, Clark, Doughty, Kulemin, and Nazarov are on basically every line. Same could be said for Olofsson, Turcotte, Pastrnak, Ho, Byfield, and Ehlers. We are a very top-heavy team this year, and I would like if our depth could chip in, but we're mostly going to be relying on our top 6 forwards and our top 4 defensemen, and of course our goaltending. So as we take a look at the power play, it's all the guys you expect. I mean, there's no one else to really give these spots to. Penalty kill, you have Byfield, Ho, Turcotte, and Pastrnak. Once again, just overloading all of our best guys on basically every line. 4-on-4, you have the usual suspects, Turcotte, Olofsson, Byfield, Pastrnak. You have Griffith in there as well, and then Ehlers. I'm trying to get Griffith some time because he looks like he's close to being officially an NHL player at 20 years of age, so I want to give him at least a little bit of extra time. And then on the 3-on-3, basically the same. Extra attackers are Pastrnak and Turcotte, and a shootout, Pastrnak, Kaliev, Ehlers, Turcotte, and Ho. In goal, of course, you have Shesterkin and Flaherty. Scratched are Madden, Kromiak, and Simon Tyvel. I want to see how this team simulates to start out. I don't want to make any moves yet. I am expecting that we'll need to make some moves, but we'll see how this team does. Like I said in the last one, we still have our core together, so if the core can play well, then maybe that'll offset our hideous depth. But I don't know. I'm kind of anticipating that we're going to need to make a trade, specifically on defense, considering that we have 4 NHL level defensemen. But we'll just see how we simulate anyway. It can't hurt to just see how this team simulates. Forwards I could live with because Rissmiller, he has an 87 offensive awareness, so I figure he might be able to succeed in the top 6. That's why I have him there with Byfield and Ho. So like forwards I'm alright with, but that defensive pair of Why Not and Gretz, that's going to be rough, I have a feeling. So Shesterkin and Flaherty, you gotta get it done. You absolutely have to get it done. So we're at the trade deadline now. 35, 20, and 7 is our record. We're 9-1 in our last 10, so we're clearly still a good team. It's just, we're in a very touchy situation because if we get any, and I mean any, major injuries, our season's just going to completely derail because we can't afford an injury to a player like Olofsson, Turcotte, Pastrnak, anyone in our top 6 basically, or anyone in our top 4 defensive pairs. If any of these guys go down, then our season could easily just derail fast. So that's the only thing that really worries me right now with this lineup. I mean, Shesterkin could be a lot better too. He doesn't have the greatest save percentage right now, but at least he's getting the wins. Flaherty has been a little bit better, 901 save percentage in 16 games. And it's not like we could really do anything about our situation right now anyway, considering our salary cap situation. We have less than 1 million remaining in cap space. So it's not like we could just go out there and trade for depth at the trade deadline. We really cannot do anything without trading someone like Pastrnak or Doughty. And it's not like we're a bad team, right? We still have a good record. So I don't want to go ahead and trade guys like that when we're first in the division and by a pretty wide margin as well. So we may as well just keep this lineup together and see what it does and just hope for the best as far as no injuries go because we really cannot afford any. Taking a look at the team stats, we are first in our division for goals for per game, 3.31. Goals against per game, we are not exactly in a great position, 3.15. That was a much higher at the start of the season, keep in mind, because I think in the first month we went 4-10. So it was certainly a surprise that we turned our season around like that. We've only had a handful of losses since. Our power play's been good, 21.9, and our penalty kill, I believe, has been pretty decent as well. Yeah, 80.8, top 3 in the division. So I'm not complaining. I'm just really, once again, I'm nervous for if any injuries happen, that's really going to be what derails our season if it happens. Like I said, Shesterkin could be better. Hopefully he gets into a rhythm in the final part of the season here. Doughty, 42 points at 37 years of age. Certainly still a very good player, although I would not be surprised if he continues to drop, honestly. Clark with 26 points, Kulemin with 21, Nazarov with 13, and then you have Wynot and Gretz there. And then you have Pasternak with 69 points, Ho with 60. He's really been good the past 2 seasons. Glad we held on to him. And he's definitely been key defensively this season as well. Oh yeah, look at that takeaway to giveaway ratio, 123 to 43. Yeah, I would say he's a key reason why we're winning right now. I mean, not to mention all the points that he has, 60 and 62. Like, that in itself is impressive, but when you factor in the defensive part of the game, he's making a huge impact out there for us. And he's one of our top plus players. He's in the top 3 for plus minus, along with Rich Miller and Byfield. So, really, Keith Ho has become a very important part of this team. Turcotte with 58 points, Byfield with 57, Olofsson with 55. Like I said, all the guys in the top 6 are getting a lot of time this year, so that was bound to happen. All these guys putting up this much points. I mean, the only guy outside of the top 6 who's getting power play time is Kaliev, and he only has 5 power play points so far this year. So it's mostly the top 6 getting the offense here in this season for your LA Kings. Then you have Rissmiller with 28 points, so he's got the 88 offensive awareness. So I mean, he certainly looks to be a promising player. We took him in the 7th round of the 2024 draft, so he grew really quickly, and he is certainly looking like he will be a useful player of the future. Griffith with 19 points. You have Luff, and then Patan. Bykov, he has 7 currently, so he's taking his time a little bit there, but that's all right. And then Kramiach has played 3 games, Madden played 4. So like I said, there's really nothing we can do here at this trade deadline. We just have to hope for the best. So with that being said, I will see you guys at the end of the season, and hopefully nothing bad happens. And now we have finished the season 44, 28, and 10 with 98 points. We lead our division, oddly enough. So we didn't have the greatest division this year. That certainly played a part in helping us get to the playoffs with a roster that was depleted in depth. Reviewing the team stats now, we had a 3.32 in goals for per game, a 3.13 in goals against per game, and the power play, we had a 21.5. That is in the top half of the division. Okay. And the penalty kill, all right, that was pretty good throughout the entire season. That actually got better from when we last checked. It is now at 82.1. We are 5-4-1 our last 10, so bit shaky going into the playoffs, but I suppose that's all right. Player stat-wise, Keith Ho was phenomenal this year, I gotta say. Whatever he's asking for in the offseason this year, I think we gotta give it to him, no matter what. He is starting to become a real important part of this team. 84 points, plus 15, nearly 300 shots per season, 12.3 shooting percentage, 24 power play points. He's okay. He's decent on faceoffs when he needs to be. Great hitter, great with the takeaways and giveaways. I mean, there's really what's not to like about this guy, you know? He's been phenomenal. Pasternak with 83 points, 40 goal season for him. Turcotte with 77 points, Olofsson with 76, Byfield with 73, Doughty with 64. So he's starting to drop in overall, but he should still be good for the playoffs. Now, what he's asking for in the offseason with his contract coming up, that's a different story. I don't know how much he's going to ask for, and if it's going to be too much, I don't know what the future holds for Drew Doughty on this team. We may end up having to release him, depending on our situation. And with Keith Ho, his contract coming up, he's probably going to want a lot more than $6 million this time, I have a feeling. You have Ehlers with 62 points, Kaliev with 39, Clark with 34, Rissmiller with 33. He's up to an 81 overall as well. I believe he started at a 77, somewhere around there, so he's getting better. Kulemin with 27, Griffith with 25, Nazarov with 16, and all these other guys. Then Shesterkin finished with an 899, Flaherty with a 901. I think Shesterkin will start for us in the playoffs. We're just going to see what he does differently in the playoffs than in the regular season. Of course, the previous time we were in the playoffs, he had a 903. And with that, we are facing the Colorado Avalanche in the first round of these playoffs. So we'll check out the lines, see what they're all about, and get right into it. First line, you have Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen. That's just great. Second line, you have Chikart, Kadri, and Mikheyev. Third line, you have Hollander, Ratcliffe, and Kaut. Fourth line, you have Hoglander, Zaka, and Danielson. On defense, you have Shea and Makar, Byram and Timmins, Haig and Barron. In goal, you have Kemper and Sogard. And scratched are Dewar, Carlo, and Labushkin. So that being done, let's get straight into it. Just hope for the best. Here we go. Game number 1 versus Colorado. First period. I'll be a 4-2 lead for Colorado. Jeez. Rantanen, Barron, Hollander, and Haig with the goals. So Shesterkin eventually got pulled, and Flaherty got in there. He let up a goal as well. Then we scored 2. Ehlers and Griffith. Griffith with his first career goal in the playoffs. Second period. There you go. We're back within 1. Doughty on Kemper. Third period. More than halfway through the period. Nothing doing. Come on now. Oh, Rantanen with the goal on Flaherty. Not good. 5 minutes remaining. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we lose game number 1 by the score of 5-3. 3 stars of the game are Rantanen, Hollander, and Landeskog. Game number 2 time. Let's hope for a better result here. First period, you have a 3-1 lead for Colorado. Mikheyev, Danielson, and Hoglander on Shesterkin. Olofsson gets the goal, but we are down 3-1. We're out shooting them 11-8, so there's a positive to take out of it. Second period, all right. We're back within 1. Griffith again. Second goal of the series. Come on now. Don't let it get away from you in the third period. It's already bad that we're down, but we really cannot afford to go down by even more. There we go. Keith Ho with the game-tying goal. That's what you like to see. Not going to get too excited, though. It's only round 1. We've been further before. Power play for Colorado. Nothing happening. 5 minutes remaining. And McKinnon with the goal on Shesterkin. Don't like to see it. 1 minute remaining. And that is going to be a 4-3 Colorado win. Unfortunate. 3 stars of the game. McKinnon, Turcotte, and Danielson. Shesterkin's been brutal. He has been brutal. 800 save percentage. I want to see what Flaherty can do. Just for the sake of knowing what he's about in the playoffs. You know, just so we know what we're working with him in the future. If he's going to be part of this team in the future, I want to see what he's capable of when it really matters. And hopefully he can get something going here in game number 3. So here we go. First period. You have, oh boy. Yeah. McKinnon, Rantanen on Flaherty. 13 shots to 6. Not looking good. Second period. There's a goal for Ehlers. Clawing our way back, but still a mountain to climb here. Third period time. Power play. Come on. Nope. Nothing doing. About 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Yeah. Another power play. Nope. Hate to see it. Hollander with the goal. We are down 3-0 just like that. 3 stars of the game. Rantanen, Kemper, and McKinnon. Honestly, line change wise, I'm not sure if there's much I can do. I suppose we could try Ehlers on the first line. He has 2 goals already, whereas Olofsson only has 1. It's maybe a little bit of a shakeup. Ho hasn't really done much. Pasternak hasn't really done much. It's just one of those situations we need our big players to step up. So going into game number 4, Shesterkin is back in net. See what he can do in an elimination game. First period, 1-0 lead for Colorado. Rantanen on the power play. Yeah, that line. Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog, they have just been a pain to deal with, to say the least. Second period, nothing doing. And that's great that we held them off the board, but they also held us off the board, so we didn't really make much progress there. All right, Kaliev with the goal. On Kemper, we are tied. Give me another one. Power play. There it is. Keith Ho on the power play. That is I believe our first lead of this series, but is taken away almost immediately by Nathan McKinnon. We are now tied once again, with 5 minutes remaining in the third. 3, 2, 1. We are headed to overtime. Here we go. Who's going to win it? And it will be your LA Kings, Victor Olofsson, with the goal to get us to a game number 5. 3 stars of the game, Shesterkin, Ho, and Olofsson. Here we go. Game 5 at home. First period. 1-0 lead for your LA Kings. Olofsson once again on the power play on Kemper. From a sharp angle, it looks like as well. Pretty good to start out. Keep it going in the second. And that is exactly what we'll do. Luff with the goal. And Turcotte with the goal as well. McKinnon with the goal on Shesterkin. But it's looking pretty good so far. Give me one more goal, I would say. Power play for Colorado. Oh boy, Mikheyev. He scored right after it. And, oh my goodness, Mikheyev again. Power play for Colorado. Nothing doing. But Olofsson with the goal. A clutch goal, for that matter. 5 minutes remaining. 3, 2, and Ehlers with the goal. And we get the 5-3 win in game number 5. So we are headed to a game number 6 now. Olofsson, the first star of the game, and then Mikheyev and Turcotte also stars of the game. All right, we forced it to a game 6. Anything can happen here. I mean, if we could force a game 7, that would be ideal for sure. First period, that is a 2-0 lead over the Colorado Avalanche in game number 6. Kuhlman with the goal and Ho with the goal. Second period, okay. Unfortunately, they canceled those 2 goals out with 2 of their own. Mikheyev on the power play and McKinnon on Shesterkin. Third period now. We win this game. We take it to a 7. Come on. Power play 5. Oh, no. Good kill. Good kill, LA. 5 minutes remaining. 4. Yeah, Landeskog with the goal on Shesterkin from center ice. Are you kidding me, Shesterkin? And that's the series. A Landeskog goal from center ice finishes the series. Right when I thought it was getting competitive too. No. Shesterkin decides to give up that. Shesterkin, I'm sorry, you have to save that. Especially during a game 6 with the game on the line. So Olofsson, he was certainly a key part of that playoff run. The small run that it was. He had 4 goals. Not complaining from him. Keith Ho was great as well. Kaliev was great from how much ice time he had. He had 14-22, which for being on the third line with a couple of rookies, that's pretty solid. Turcotte with 5 points. He did okay. Ehlers with 3 goals. Doughty with 3. Luff with 3. Pastrnak with 3. He could have done much better. I expect much more out of someone that I'm paying $14.6 mil to. Clark with 3. Griffith with 2. Gretz with 2. Byfield with 2. Byfield needs to do better. Kuhlman with 1. Rhys Miller at 81 overall. Unfortunately, did not have a great playoffs, but that's all right. I didn't expect much from him anyway. It would have been nice to see him get some offense for sure. He has that 89 offensive awareness, so he's definitely capable of putting up points. Just not exactly an ideal situation for him being on the third line with another rookie in Griffith. And then in goal, Shesterkin, he finished off the series all right, but that 1 goal at the end was just... he has to save that. There was no excuse for that center ice goal to end off the series. Unfortunately, Flaherty was not great in the 2 games that he played. .833 save percentage. But that being said, I'm not going to entirely blame this series on the goaltending because once again, there are certain players such as Pastrnak who I thought could have done a lot better. Byfield as well. So I believe with that being done, we will end things off here. And in the next one, we'll get to the offseason of this year, number 7. And I'll see you guys next time.